Izzy. Let me know when you can hear me, okay? Looks like you're just getting in the classroom. There we go. Should be able to hear and
Hi.
see, okay? How's
Okay.
it
Hi,
going?
good. It's going great.
Oh, good. I'm so glad to hear that. Did you get a chance to practice over the last week at all, or just kind of coming back in fresh?
Well, coming back in fresh today.
Okay, that's all right. Yeah, I must have had some other stuff going on this week. I know how much you
Yeah,
love
getting
working on
back
it
into the
too, so
school
it's a lot of fun.
business.
Yeah, right. Getting back to
Mhm.
school full time. So, yeah, I figured you might have been a little bit busy this last week. But that's okay. We're gonna do some good work today. All right. So, what would you say is your main goal for today if you were gonna pick a primary focus for this session?
Hmm. I don't know. I think we covered so much already.
Oh, yeah. It's like we've done so much good stuff. Yeah. Do you want to pick maybe like a character type? Like if you picked like a high school stereotype or maybe
Yeah,
a
that's what I
certain
was like.
emotion?
Sure, let's do all the I think we should do that. Like take different kinds of students of either high
Sure.
school or college and kind of give those how I would voice them if I were to
Yeah.
play in those parts.
Absolutely. I love that idea. Okay.
Let me pull up here some
So,
ideas.
yeah, we've had so many like fun,
Type of
different.
students.
All right. So, what if we tried
Mhm.
maybe like a jock, a nerd?
Sure.
Popular band geek.
Class
So
clown, the
yeah.
clueless,
Mhm.
teacher's pet.
Exactly. Yeah, so some fun different types of characters we can look at today. Yeah,
Sure.
teacher's pet would be fun. All right. All right, so let's see if I can find one. So this is a teenage girl. She's confident, she's athletic, she's talking to a friend. Okay, like being encouraging. Their friends sort of like doubting their abilities before a big game. So they're trying to like pump them up, you know, trying to
Mm-hmm.
encourage them. I like it. That's cute. Being a good friend. All right, so here's the script. Do you want to take a read through silently first, and then we'll take a look at it together in a moment. So first, just kind of take a read through.
Right. Look, I know you're freaking out about tonight. It's super obvious. You've tied your laces 3 times since we started talking. But here's the thing. You're good. No, s- no, scratch that. You're great. I've seen you out there. You're smart, you're fast, and honestly, you've got good instincts that I'd kill for. All right.
Nice. Okay, so how do you think you feel about your friend?
I feel like she's I feel bad for her. And maybe we're maybe since we might be losing the game to the other team,
Oh,
she
yeah.
wins it all by herself and I'm there to tell her that it's not your fault.
It could be like halftime
Yeah.
kind of a thing, and it's like you guys have
And
been
we're both
losing, and
on
they
the
feel
bench.
bad, like maybe they missed a shot or something, like they
Yeah.
swung and missed. Um,
And
or
we're sitting
kicked
on the
for a
bench
goal and
together.
yeah, and you're like, hey, pepping her up, pumping her up for that second half. um
Mm-hmm.
so that tells us too like what just happened, and then your friend's like, man, it's just not my night, I hope they don't send me back out there, and you're like, look,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be okay. So
All
what's
right.
your goal? Like, how do you hope your friend responds to what you say?
Hopefully, she feels better, she feels inspired, and that she can learn that I'm there for her.
Yeah.
Even
Mhm.
if we have to be all playboy, tomboy, and tough, that we're really soft inside.
Yeah. Oh, that's sweet. I like that. Good. All right. So you're trying to cheer her up and be like, you're right. It's just a bad day, but I'm pretty great.
Mhm.
Love it. All right. So let's go ahead and try it. Just kind of like in your regular voice if this was you.
All right. Look, I know you're freaking out about tonight. It's super obvious. You've tied your laces 3 times since we started talking. But here's the thing. You're good. No, scratch that. You're great. I've seen you out there. You're fast. You're smart. And honestly, you've got instincts that I'd kill for.
Nice. Yeah. Good. All right. So then, now can we do it a little more like tough love, like a coach being like, "Hey, get back out there." So a little bit of a different vibe this time.
Yeah, kind of like a Lynn Loud from the Loud House vibe.
Sure. Yeah. Love it. Let's try it.
Look, I know you're freaking out there. It's like super obvious. You've tied your laces 3 times since we started talking. But here's the thing, you're good. No, scratch that. You're great. I've seen you out there. You're fast, you're smart. And honestly, you've got instincts that I'd kill for.
Nice. What if we did like a mom? Like a mom being like,
Like a soccer mom, kind
yeah,
of.
exactly. Like a soccer mom pepping you up, like a Reese Witherspoon in The Blind Side, like kind of thing. Like being really supportive, or no, that's not Reese Witherspoon. That's the what's her name? Dang it. She's in Miss Congeniality and stuff. Anyway, I'm like, that's not her name. What am I
Hmm.
thinking? Sandra Bullock, that's the one. I'm like,
Okay.
yes. She's like the mom and it's like a sports show. Um,
Hmm.
but like being really encouraging. I don't know why I thought Reese Witherspoon. Yeah, so Sandra Bullock. And so yeah, like you're the soccer mom. Yeah.
All right. Look, I know you. I know you're freaking out tonight. It's like super obvious. You've you've tied your shoelaces 3 times ever since we started talking. But here's the thing, you're good. No, scratch that. You're great. I've seen you out there. You're fast. You're smart. And honestly, you've got instincts that I would kill for.
Nice. Very good. All right. Awesome. So which one do you like best and why?
Definitely like the soccer mom.
Oh, okay, yeah, because it's like more tender and like, a mom like kissing a boo-boo and making it better kind of a feeling. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like more like sweet and like that intimate, like sweet moment that's close and personal. Yeah, that's great. All right, so you've got some different options there. All righty. So this one is a nerdy person.
Nerdy
I think
person.
clearly someone's making fun of you. Because it sounds like they're laughing at you,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Oh God. All right. Silent read through.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, you think it's funny that I spend my weekends building robots instead of going to parties? That I'd rather binge read the complete works of Isaac. How do you pronounce that? Like
Oh, uh, Isaac Asimov.
Isaac Asimov, then watch whatever generic rom-com is trending right now. Yeah, real hilarious.
Yeah, like maybe like the cool girl in school is like making fun of you and teasing you about your like
Or maybe
weird
like my
shoes or
big
something.
sister.
Sure, your big sister could be picking on you. Yeah, like, oh my gosh, you're such a nerd. Yeah.
All right.
All right, and this is your response.
All right. What'd you say?
This is your response. So if your older sister's kind of picking on you, how
All
would
right.
you talk back to her?
Oh, you think it's funny that I spend my weekends in my room and I spend the weekends building robots instead of going to parties? That I'd rather binge read the complete works of Isaac Asimov than watch whatever generic rom-coms is trending right now. Yeah, real hilarious.
Yeah, good. So who are some like kind of nerdy characters from shows? We've got people like Urkel, or if you think of
Urkel,
like really smart, like smart
like
guy.
Lisa Loud from the Loud
Sure,
House,
yeah. Or
like
like Tia
Dexter
and
from
Tamara
Dexter's
Morrow.
Laboratory,
Yeah.
or even
Um,
Brainy Smurf from the Smurfs.
yeah, yep, exactly. Those are all good examples. Yeah, I was thinking Tia and Tamara Mowry and Sister Sister. One's like the more like smart, like gets good grades, and one's like the more cool, popular sister. So like thinking of characters that are a little more, into learning, and this one likes building robots. So she's probably going to work
Yeah.
for NASA someday, right? So,
Right.
all right. So let's try it again, kind of channeling some of those characters that
Right.
that you can think of.
Oh, you think it's funny that I spend my weekends building robots instead of going to parties? That I'd rather binge read the complete works of Isaac Asimov than watch whatever generic rom-com is trending right now? Yeah, real hilarious.
That was really fun. I like it. Nice. You're just like,
Thank you.
yeah, you're like, who cares what you think? I like it. Good. Nice. So the next one is interesting because it's like you're the cool girl. But it's like a moment where the cool girl is being vulnerable, it seems like. So take a read through of this one and see what you think here.
Do you know how exhausting it is to have people only see the surface? Yeah, I throw the best parties, but I never know who's exactly there for me and who's just there for the scene. And yeah, I've made lots of friends, but how many of them really know me? Really know me? How many how many would stick around if I stopped smiling for 5 minutes? Sometimes I wish I could just disappear for a day, be invisible. No makeup, no followers, no pressure, just me. But that's not how it works, is it?
Nice. Yeah, good. So who do you think you could be talking to? Like a counselor, maybe a teacher who's kind of concerned about you,
Yeah,
maybe like your
teacher. Or maybe
mom.
even myself or even talking to myself in like my own bedroom.
Or it could even be like maybe there's a new kid in school who's like your neighbor, and they're like, "You think you're so cool, don't you?" And you're like, "Do you have any idea what it's like to be me? How hard I have to work to keep up this persona?" Like maybe
Yeah.
like the new kid next door is like, "Oh my gosh, you're just this all you care about, like, and you're plastic, and do you even have any feelings?" And then this is what you say back to them. How would that make you feel if this person was like, "You're just plastic. You don't feel anything. Like, you've got this perfect little life and this perfect house, and like, you're not real." How would you feel if somebody said that to you?
I would kind of feel like a bit flabbergasted and like maybe like in the back of my mind, not even be like I would be in the back of my mind like, wow, like I haven't even thought of that, but that's what my mind thinks, but I'm already spilling out what I'm like doubting about myself.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Um, so it sounds like you'd be kind of like shocked, like
Hmm.
that feeling of like getting slapped in the face by something, like it would catch you off guard. And then when you're sharing this with them, what do you want? Like, how do you hope that they'll respond to what you say? How do you hope they feel about, what you're saying?
I hope they like kind of get the picture
Hmm.
and like have them like
Change their
understand how I'm
perspective
feeling
of
through like
you.
my
Yeah.
words.
Be more understanding of you. Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, that you want more understanding. You want them to see you as a person and see where you're coming from and stop like judging you unfairly.
Hmm.
You're like, I am a person. I do have feelings, and you have no idea what it's like to be me. Yeah.
All right.
So getting them to see you more as like human and give you some grace. Yeah.
All right.
All right. So let's go ahead and try that.
Regular voice only or just
Yeah, first let's try just like in your voice, but with all those kind of emotions and stuff
me?
added.
Do you know how exhausting it is to have people only see the surface? Yeah, I throw the best parties, but I never know who's actually there for me and who's just there for the scene. And yeah, I have made a lot of friends, but how many of them really know me? How many would stick around if I stopped smiling for a minute, for 5 minutes? Sometimes I wish I could just disappear for a day, be invisible, no makeup, no followers, no pressure, just me. But that's not how it is it?
Nice. So who are some like cool girl characters you can think of? Like the main character in Clueless, the movie, or like in Mean Girls, Regina George. Like who are some of those characters that are like the cool kid?
Definitely like Regina.
Hmm. Or like maybe like
Um,
in the Archie one, like
like Betty or Veronica?
Veronica. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Betty and Veronica, definitely mostly Veronica.
Yeah, exactly. So kind of with that like attitude of the cool girl attitude.
Got it, cool girl attitude. I can do
Yeah.
that. You know how hard it is for me to have all these people. You know how hard it is to have people only see the surface? Yeah, I throw the best parties, but I never really know who's there for me or who's just there for the scene. And yeah, I've made lots of friends, but how many of them really know me? How many would stick around if I stopped smiling for 5 minutes? Sometimes I wish I could just disappear for a day, be invisible. No makeup, no followers, no pressure, just me. But but that's not how it works, is it?
Nice. It definitely has a little more drama there. I like it. Yeah, that's fun. Good. And that's like a side of the cool girl that we don't see all that often. So I think that's kind of a
Yeah.
cool monologue. All right. So the next one, you are a band geek, but you love being in band and you're like, oh, it's the best. Yeah. And like you're kind of sassy. This character is kind of sassy. I like it.
Sassy, okay.
But clearly, someone just called you a geek and you just like respond in kind. You're like, oh, I can be as sassy as you.
All right. Oh, so being in band makes me a geek. That's original. Let me guess. You think it's all about wearing dorky uniforms and marching in straight lines. Newsflash, it's so much more than that. Do you know what it feels like to play something so perfectly, so in sync with 50 other people, that it gives you chills? To hit that one impossible note and hear the whole room hold its breath? Or spend hours practicing a solo until your fingers are numbed, and then finally nail it in front of an audience? No? Yeah, I didn't think so.
Nice. Good. Okay. So, what do you think is this character's main goal?
But probably make like the people who've been calling me a dork to like understand, like get the picture, like, oh, you don't think like, well, how about you give them, how about you go practice an instrument, see what
Yeah.
other people think, see if they call you a dork or not.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's kind of like standing up for myself,
Yeah, standing up to them. I like that. So let me hear a little more of that like strength and really stand up to them.
right? Oh, you think, oh, so being in a band makes me a geek? That's original. Let me guess. You think it's all about wearing dorky outfits and marching in straight lines? Newsflash, it's so much more than that. You don't know what it, you don't know what it feels like to play and like to play something so perfectly, so in sync with 50 other people and it gives you chills to hit a note That's so impossible to hit that in one impossible note and hear a whole room hold its breath or spend hours practicing a solo until your fingers are numbed and finally nail it in front of an audience. No? Yeah, I don't think so. I didn't think so.
Yeah, yeah. So really standing up to them. So that gives it a totally different feel from any of our other characters. Love it. Good. All right. So this is a theater person who I guess has
Yes.
been working really hard. They're like, oh, it's worth it because it's magic when it all comes together.
Oh, this is my
So maybe
specialty
it's
because
like
being a
your
theater
grandma or
person
someone's like, you seem
myself.
tired. Like, are you working too hard? And you're like, yeah, I've been working real hard. You're like, it's gonna be worth it. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right. So let's try it.
Yeah, it's hard working. We have rehearsals for hours, sweating under the stage light, perfecting every scene, every movement. My friends go to parties. I stay late at the theater, painting sets and sewing costumes. But you know what? It's worth it because when that curtain rises and the lights hit, the world outside disappears for 2 hours. It's magic.
Nice. You're like, this is me. Easy. You're like, ah, I know exactly what to do that with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like that sense of just like awe and wonder and like bliss at the end, right? That it's
Yeah,
magic.
and even of course, like being a theater kid, you like saying this feels like a monologue. So like maybe like
Mhm.
so I think I want to express myself, like go bold and like
Yeah.
theatrical.
Yeah, I
That's what
love
we're
it.
known for.
Yeah, so this one just like comes easily because you're like, I can relate. I love that when that happens. It just lines up. All right, the next one it seems like you're being more like rebellious. It's a shorter one, but it sounds like maybe you got in trouble because you're not cooperating. Like your school has school uniforms and you refuse to wear them, and you're like, "Yeah, I'm not going to do that."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. You want me to fit in this little box, don't you? Follow the rules, do as I'm told, color inside the lines. Sorry, but that's not me. It never has been, and it never will be.
Yeah, so that one's just very like to the point. Um, so what if we did like you are somebody who like wears black leather to school and like skips class, and you like
So
hide
like
behind the
kind of be like a
bleachers
bully
smoking.
sort of vibe,
Not even necessarily a bully, just like you don't
but
want to
like
be
the
here.
attitude, like the vocal
Yeah,
tone of one.
like move, you're in my way. Yeah.
All right, I can do that.
Okay.
You want me to fit in your little box, don't you? Play by the rules. Do as I'm told. Color inside the line. Sorry, but that's not me. It never has been, and it never will be.
Nice. Good. Totally different energy there. Yeah, very good. What if you try it like you're super bored with this conversation, but like
Sure,
maybe you're in the principal's office and you're just like, ugh, I have to be here.
I know. Right. You just want me to fit in your little box, don't you? Follow the rules. Do as I'm told. Color inside the line. Sorry, but that's not me. Never has been, never will be.
You sound like you just want a nap. You're like, I just want to go take a nap, man.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. So this one seems like maybe you're kind of like neurotic, like, the class president, and you're like, I have to be in every club and I have to fill out my resume and I need to get scholarships and I have to get into an Ivy League,
So like the
where it's like
overachiever.
overachiever, but like you're really like anxious and you're having like a mental breakdown at this moment.
All right. Kind of have like a
You're like, oh,
nifty
I don't want to
moment.
do this anymore. Yeah, you're like having a mental breakdown moment.
Yeah.
You've been
Okay.
putting too much pressure on yourself.
All right. Here goes the thing. I work so hard. It's still never enough. Is there's always another test, another project, another trophy to win? And for what? A pat on the back, a line on my resume. Sometimes I don't even know why I'm doing this anymore.
Nice. Yeah. I would say for this one, I'd take it like really fast that she's like, and this, and yeah. So
So
like
kind
a
of
little
like
bit
almost
faster and
like a
like,
nifty kind of voice. Like,
exactly. Yeah. Like nifty. Let's try
all
it.
right, I think I can do that one. I
Good.
work so hard, and it's still never enough. There's always another test, another project, another trophy, a pat on the back, a line on my resume. Sometimes I don't even know why I'm doing this anymore.
Yes, you definitely sound like you're having a breakdown. Nice. All right, this one, maybe like your parents are on you and they're like, "Why did you get D's? That's unacceptable." And you're like, "Dude, you're always on my case. Like, why don't you try harder?" Right?
All
Like,
right,
you're like, "Dude, it's just high school. Who cares?" Right?
all right.
So
So
you
like,
clearly are more of the slacker.
all right, and I'm afraid this will have to be the last one
All
because,
right, yeah, because we're gonna wrap up after that. Cool.
all right. You're always on my case. Like, why do you try so hard? Or what are you doing with your life? I mean, seriously, what's the rush? Everyone's running around like life's a race, but no one seems to know where the finish line is.
Good. Yeah. What if we did it like, um, so your parents are like, lecturing you and you're like, dude, get off my case. Like, leave me
Like a
alone. Do you ever
bored,
remember what it's
lazy
like to be a
teenager.
teenager? Yeah. That
All
you're
right,
like, dude, I'm not you.
all right, like, you're always on my case. Like, why you try so hard? Or what are you doing with your life? I mean, seriously, what's the rush? Everyone's running around like life's a race, but no one seems to know where that finish line is.
Yeah. And maybe too, it's like your parents, like they're successful and you feel all this pressure to be like them. And you're like, Psh, I don't even want to try. Like, I'm not going to live my life like you, you know?
All right,
So, so it's like that kind of, you're like, dude, what's even the point? I don't even see the finish line, right? So it's just like that being like, yeah, I'm done with this kind of
all
thing.
right. You're always on my case. Like,
And the way
what
you're
do you?
saying that, it's like maybe your sibling they really approve of and like are like, oh, you're great, but then they're like, but you're not. Step it up. And you're like, dude, like, why are you always getting on to me? Like,
All
you act
right,
like they're perfect.
all right. I
Why are
think
you
I
always
can do
mad
it.
at me?
All right. You're always on my case. Like, why don't you try harder? Or what are you doing with your life? I mean, seriously, what's the rush? Everyone's running around like life's a race, but no one seems to know where that finish line is.
Yeah, yeah. I felt like that had a little more energy. Like thinking about like, oh, you're always so encouraging to them, but then you're really hard on me. Yeah, kind of being like, "Ugh, that's not fair." Yeah, I really like that. Good. Do you want to copy these so you can work on them this week?
Sure.
Yeah, you can like highlight and copy and paste, or you can click that three dots and then save the chat.
Got it.
Perfect. Yeah. So what would you say is your main focus going to be this week? Do you want to set a goal for this week in your practice?
Yeah, and I would also like to kind of continue these. These are fun.
Yeah, they are fun. Yes, we could do some more like stereotypical characters again next time. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're doing great with them. I like too, it's like we have a really clear vision of who the character is because of those stereotypes. So it's a little bit easier to figure out who they are and like what's going on
All right.
and like the circumstance around them because you already have a really clear vision of that character type. It's really good.
Uh-huh.
Nice work, Izzy.
Thank you.
All right, keep up the great work, and I'm excited to continue these.
Will
Have a good
do.
rest of your week. Bye, Izzy.